Hi you guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm actually here with Mila FX. We're going to be answering the questions that you guys had asked on Instagram, Snapchat, etc. All in regards to trading, investing, etc. We're going to start off with, not with introductions actually, because our first question is sort of the summary of how we both gotten started. So the first question, Mila,
Yeah.
how did you get started on your journey?
Okay, so how I got started. So it was a while back where I got introduced to an MLM scheme where a couple of my friends were into trading for a couple of months. And I always looked at trading as a thing where it was something that thought it was fake. I thought it was a scam.
Yeah.
But when I started to look into it and a couple of my friends showed me their profits, I was looking into it. I was like, that's a good idea. I thought, let me get into this and let's start making money. So I messaged my friend saying I want to get started. He always used to tell me just drop me a message and we can get started. So I dropped him a message. He put me into this. I paid like I think £200 or something for this academy to learn trading, and I started looking at that whole MLM scheme and I thought that's not the one. It's not the one. So I started doing myself learning using YouTube, baby pips, just forums, and it got to the point where I started learning myself, and then the journey started to begin where I started making profits, losses, and even though the losses were kind of peak at the time, it was a learning stage. It was learning. I was learning how to handle these losses, and it got to a point where I got comfortable with my equity, and I started just growing my account, and that's literally just the beginning of my journey of Forex.
That makes sense.
So what about you? How was your journey in Forex as well?
So my journey, I'd never really sort of gotten into any type of MLM scheme, etc. I'd more just sort of been, I was introduced to Forex by family friends, but I'd never really taken it on. The point in which I'd taken it on, I think, was actually when I had sort of developed streams of income which were okay and sort of very good, more in the e-commerce space. And then I transitioned into Forex after sort of just, again, seeing loads of, I guess, people online, etc., sort of flexing, making money. And I really wanted to sort of go into this space and experience it for what it was. Because again, I had like certain family members who were market makers, friends in certain same positions. I really got an insight into certain Forex concepts, and those concepts allowed me to develop a trading strategy which were pretty much perfect for myself. And from then, I think I had a friend of mine open my first account. I traded on that account, developed a profit, started to build consistency, and then from there, just increased my account size and continued on trading from there. And that was my journey in a nutshell, just as a summary.
Yeah.
So the next question that we actually have from the viewers, how much do you need to actually start trading Forex or trading in general?
So we had this question before actually, and we both have two different numbers and figures. Me personally, I would say start with the generic £200 account or 250, and before actually looking at making money, I start saying experimenting with the whole Forex, see what currency pair moves the best for you. Obviously, just risking maybe 1 or 2% of your account, and then slowly, gradually getting your equity higher. Of course, you're going to get losses in the way, in the journey, but I'd say slowly growing that equity, even if you do blow it, is not a large amount in trading. So that's why I say 250 or £200 is a great start. What about you?
Yeah, so in my opinion, I do believe that this amount is variable to the person. For example, if you've actually got experience in Forex, why would you start with only 200, £250? If you know the concept works, fair enough, you've tested it on demos. I would say you'd only want that amount if it's proof of concept. So you've traded with £250, you've got proof of concept, cool, Forex works, my strategy is okay. And then you want to again start increasing to actually capitalize on this newfound skill that you've actually got. And then likewise, if you've got no experience and you're literally testing the Forex market, then I would say even as little as £50 is fine, simply because you want that proof of concept that you can make money. If you jump into Forex and you make consistent losses, you're probably going to be like, do you know what, it's a scam, it doesn't work, everyone's just a recruiter, and that's what you've discovered. That was your journey. Whereas with other people, it may be like, okay, cool, they deposit £50, they're trying to get that proof of concept, they end up flipping it into a crazy amount of money, and then it's like, okay, cool, this actually works, I'm going to take it seriously and learn what I can actually do with Forex. And that was kind of my journey with stocks. I had a very similar experience, sort of got lucky investing in one of the most bullish markets that I may ever live in my life. I then kept putting more money into the markets and kept putting tens of thousands in, to the point where I'd actually invested 6 figures. It grew. made 6 figures in profits, and that's my journey into stocks. And I was like, okay, cool. Now I really need to take this seriously and analyze the markets.
Yeah, quick question on the whole stocks and Forex. Would you recommend your audience to start up with a demo account, or would you say, straight away put your equity or the money you have and go start off with the journey of your Forex or stocks, whatever?
So with this one, I would definitely start off with a demo account.
Is this with Forex or stocks?
I would say Forex. Stocks, I don't think I would.
Okay.
Stocks, I don't think I would, only because it's like the sooner you get in, the sooner you're going to take it seriously, in my opinion, with stocks. Stocks, demo, it just feels like a game, to be fair. And again, you sort of testing your analysis on a company, I feel like it will only work right with real money and getting that sort of, being able to get that sort of social, I guess, proof of concept that, okay, stocks works, my money can actually appreciate in value. With Forex, I feel like demos are perfect, but only perfect for the right mindset. If your mindset is, okay, cool, I want to try and make as much money as I can, flip this to the biggest amount possible, you probably will end up doing it with one of your many demo accounts.
Yeah.
But will you be consistent? Probably not. Again, a lot of people say that Forex is mainly psychology. And if it is trading with fake money really going to help impact your psychology? I feel like doing it with real money is going to be the most psychological factor, because you've actually got real funds in the markets. You will take it seriously.
Yeah. So like even with me, so I got my own academy, and the students that I have, I teach them to only use demo to get used to, buying and selling on the app, and just, getting used to the app, getting used to how the Forex market moves, getting used to the timings, because, you want to get used to the different time zones, the opening and closings, and, bank holidays or whatever. Using demos then, NFPs, getting used to the movements of the charts. And then once you're used to it, you can then transition into a real account and actually start practicing your setups and your strategies on the real account, whereas your psychology starts working now. And I just feel like that's a better transition, especially most of the students that I had that did this approach have had a better journey in trading, rather than people who did demo for around, 2-3 months, thought trading was calm, and then moved straight away into a real account and started seeing a loss of equity really, really quickly.
Yeah. And what would you say sort of the turning point is it when they start making money, when they double their account, or is there a point in consistency, they feel their strategy works? What would you say is the turning point in which, okay, cool, this is the time when you should consider changing into real money?
So the turning point, so I would say, after a week or two, just get straight into the real account. It's like, imagine you're in a track and field race and you're just preparing your muscles, you're getting used to, your startup and everything. You won't really know the real race until you actually start up with the whole Forex. You need to get, the market will move regardless, with or without you, it will move. So you need to get with the real money and actually understand that your money is really getting played around here. People could say it's a gamble or whatever, but if you have the right strategy and you're consistent with it, I would say it will make more sense for you to go straight into the real money. Especially, a strategy, everyone has a simple, pullback strategy. They have, Fibonacci's, harmonics, or whatever they want to use. But I would say you want to first get your psychology right with the real money, instead of just doing all these strategies on demos. And then when you have the real money, you got the sense of fear saying, I've got £1,000 in my account, or even, maybe more. And then suddenly you start losing. You're like, okay, is my strategy right? When it is right, it's just your psychology is not right at the moment.
Agreed. Perfect. So the next question that we have is, what would you say is better in terms of trading or investing? So investing being, I guess, private equity, long-term stock investing, or trading, day trading stocks, indices, Forex.
So for me personally, I haven't actually gone into stock investments as much as you have. But in Forex as a day trader, I'd say it's worked very well in my favor. As we were in the pandemic, we were just sitting at home basically doing nothing. It was very easy for me to transition myself from investments that were just working passively without me actually looking at the market, whereas now I can actually see what my money is working as, and I can see that, okay, if I invest £100 in gold, I can see a return in 24 hours. I can see a nice return. Whereas if you're investing in stocks, the way I see it is your investments are spread out in a long period of time. Yeah. So maybe 4 years or maybe in a year you might see a slow growth. Whereas day trading, you can see growth as up to 20% ROI in a month.
Yeah.
So what would you say about stocks though? Because I feel like with stocks I can't really speak too much, but day trading I would speak highly about because I've been trading for a while now and I'm a day trader. So what would you say about stocks?
So with stocks, I would say, I feel like again it really just depends on the person. If you want to see a return on your money, then I would say look towards investing, whether it be stocks. For, I would say, more people who want to go into, okay, cool, I want to be more of a finance professional, then I would say, okay, cool, pick individual stocks, because you will develop a skill. Your skill will be being able to identify companies which you believe in long term, and then companies that can give a return. You want as many shares as possible in a company that you believe in, that you really like. And you want to pick up those shares the best price possible. And once you've got that sort of idea of, okay, cool, I want to pick this investment, you'll then look at the financial data to be like, okay, cool, is this company feasibly going to achieve all of the goals in which it says it will? And if it does, perfect, invest, and hopefully you will see a return on your money. So it is more long term. But then again, I feel like on the flip side for investing, for certain people who are like, I just want to make money, we have indices whereby somebody could invest in the S&P 500 consistently for the next 60 years. You invest £20,000 by the time you're 20, by the time you're 60, 65, you're going to be a millionaire just averaging a 12% return annually. So it's like, okay, cool, if you really want to see money, look into investing. But then trading is a skill. And again, I would say it's variable to the person. Like trading, for example, can be seen as ethical, non-ethical. It can be seen as non-ethical. There were times when I've seen people shorting airline stocks during 9/11, which is absolutely disgusting, but they're capitalizing on an event, and you can do that with trading. So I don't know, I feel like it really just varies. It's an answer that you could take from loads of different angles. It really just depends on the person.
100%. I would just say, with the whole stock investments and day trading, with stock investments, as a beginner, if you're really trying to see growth, or you want to see your money growing exponentially quicker, you would see day trading as something that will be
more attractive.
More attractive. And with stock investments, I would say if you have a savings account, which if you feel like you want to invest something, go ahead, use your savings account, put savings into the stock investments and grow over 4 to, like you said, 60 years. But with day trading, I say it's more of a risk with your equity, with your capital, but it's more like where you're seeing growth as well very, very quickly compared to stock investments is under your control. So with stock investments, the way I see it is it's not under your control, it's under the company's control, or it's under whatever's happening in the economy. So but with day trading, I see it as something where I can physically buy or sell a stock, or buy or sell a currency or indices or indexes. Whatever I see, I can buy and sell it. And I can make profit out of that. Even if it's a pandemic, I can short it really, really quickly. Whereas as a stock investor, I don't know if it's true, but most of it are buying and holding for long term. Whereas if you start like GameStop, for example, a lot of people shorted it very, very quickly. They made money out of it, but you see how everything dropped and it was very volatile.
So with stocks, again, we do want to be, well, when you're a stock investor specifically, you want to buy and hold the company for the long term. Again, you don't have control over the company's activities. It's just down to you to do the right due diligence. It's all good to look at, I guess, financial data, etc., but you need to go a lot deeper than that. Look at the CEOs, look at the management, keep up to date with, I guess, management activities. Are they buying more shares of the company that they own, or are they selling shares in the company that they own? When they're selling, what are the amounts? Are they large amounts? Are they big transactions, or are they just small, whereby they might need some sort of cash flow? I mean, I own a company, and I think it was the CEO had actually sold, I think something like 3 million shares. They sold a lot of equity in the company. However, they haven't actually been paying themselves a salary, so they needed this cash flow to buy a home, get themselves a new car, etc. And so it really just, with stocks, you need to have a good conviction. Otherwise, you should go over to indices, because you will find yourself gambling. You'll find people that tweet buy GameStop and you'll buy it. I bought AMC and it went against everything I believed in, but I knew that it would make history, and so I just wanted to be a part of it. And I did put in a large amount of money into it. But again, there are strategies when it comes to stocks. I mean, being able to I guess, squeeze the stock is a strategy, but usually what happens is that the company will change in terms of there might be a new CEO, there might be a new product, it might be a physical store that goes online.
Yeah.
So the company fundamentally changes, and because the stock is oversold, when the company actually changes, the shorts want to now leave the stock, and there's a whole new bunch of buyers who have seen this change in the company, and they're like, okay, cool, I now believe in it. It pushes up the stock price and causes this kind of short squeeze, gamma squeeze, whatever you want to call it. It's really just a weird one, to be fair. But yeah, we want to buy and hold for the long term.
Yeah.
And markets can be volatile, and it's just up to you as an investor to stomach that pain. And the stock market is cyclical, so we might go through months without making a profit. In fact, we might go through months of drawdown. And again, being an investor, you have to realize that, okay, cool, this is just a new market cycle. Right now, we're going through a bear market. The next cycle could be a bull market. It could even just trade sideways. And so, I don't know, it goes back to, I think, passive income, active income. Trading is a skill you're actively going to be trading.
Especially day trading.
Exactly.
And with day trading, like you said, you know, with stock investments and stuff, you need to know a lot about the economy and fundamental news. Whereas as a day trader, I started off not knowing anything about the economy. I started off just looking at price action, simple price action, and, you know, buying and selling, and potentially actually just scalping my way through trading. But when I started to realize that there's actually more to just price action, and there's more to just, you know, looking at a upwards trend and then just, you know, buying on the dips, there's actually more to that. I started realizing a lot of fundamental news and the economy, how it changes, Brexit, wars, and even, you know, potential pandemic rules and stuff like that. All those fundamental analysis that happens that affects the market. But the thing is, as a day trader, you don't really need to know to make money. I think in due time you will potentially start to understand that, okay, these things actually do affect. But in stock markets, the way I'm hearing it from you is you need to straight away actually understand, especially if you want to invest into a company, you need to know what's going behind the scenes, who's investing in this, is there any big institutions investing into it, and is it long-term or short-term bull?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you don't have to. You don't have to know all of that. However, I feel like if someone does go through that amount of due diligence, they won't lose. It's inevitable. I feel like it's inevitable to lose. If you look at financial health, CEO activity, etc., just the list could go on for days. You could literally spend an entire week looking into this company, and if you do so, I just feel like it's almost impossible to lose money long term, and it's highly possible to actually beat the return that you then get on indexes. And so that's why I just believe, yes, build a good conviction and a strong one at that. Keep up to date with quarterly earnings. Just make sure the company's on track. If not, look to sell your position, reallocate it somewhere else. That reallocation can then get you a better return, which is what you're always looking for as an investor. But yeah, trading is very different. Again, you can look at market structure, price action. I like to trade a lot. I like to take advantage of certain economic clients, certain 100%. News that comes out, NFP dates. I love all of it. But yeah, the two are very different. And I feel like it's just up to the person individually as to which path they want to go down. So the next question is, how did we get in touch? I'll let you start this one.
So yeah, I think I just started YouTube, and, you know, I did the story time on, you know, getting to know me, you know, talking about Forex and just doing a little introduction about Forex. And I think Adam just hit me up and said, you know, I like the way you did your YouTube. And at the time, he didn't have YouTube. I think you just had articles coming out, I think it was.
Yeah, so at this point, I think I was sort of going on my trading journey, but I was sort of documenting it. But on Snapchat, on Instagram, I had a journalist message me, and I was on articles, hit you up. You basically put me onto the whole YouTube thing. I want to be so raw. I sort of had the idea about getting involved, saw what Mula was doing. I was like, oh, let me get advice from him. Made it seem so easy, and I got started from there, really.
Yeah, I think it was as soon as he hit me up, and I started to see, you know, he does trading on Snapchat and Instagram. I was like, why don't you just, you know, transfer everything you do there on YouTube and just document yourself? It doesn't matter if you don't feel comfortable trading on camera, but just documenting it just for yourself or for the viewers to let them know, you know, that I'm trading and this is how I trade and I'm young. Because, you know, the way I see it is, as a young trader, I don't really see anyone doing it on YouTube, and I saw a gap in the market, and I said, cool, I want to bring this out, especially in the UK. Not many young traders are out there that are confident enough to, put their camera on their face and start showing their own strategies. And I feel like this will help, the community get better at trading and understand that, okay, these two young people are trading, and this strategy is very similar to mine, and I'm working. How about I do YouTube as well now? And just building a whole new community of traders, and it's taking over YouTube, to be honest.
Literally. Okay, cool. And the next question that we have from the viewers, I think that was more than enough detail.
Yeah.
Is how long does it take to, I guess, learn trading or learn investing?
Okay, so in my academy, I specifically said, this is why I've just done a one-time payment, because I said it can take from, a month to whenever. You can really just get the click of trading straight away. And, certain people, like for example, for me, it just took, a space of a couple months for me to understand what the market is giving me. And from there, I just was able to trade and make profit, make losses, learn from it and trade. And because I was in, pandemic every day for a past year, I was just looking at the markets, not using any forums or academies, or just using YouTube and my own experiences. It just helped me understand, okay, after a month or so, I just understood the market really, really quickly. But a couple of my friends, they've been there longer than me, and they still haven't learned the economy, the markets as quick as me. So I feel like it just depends on the person, how interested you are, if you've got a passion for trading, because at the end of the day, it's like a job, I would say. Whereas you need to have the passion, and you need to make sure you're devoted to, putting the hours in of, taking them losses, knowing that, these losses are going to hurt you, and psychologically, you are working towards that and becoming a better person as a trader. Secondly, I would say, spending more time indoors than outdoors. That means, researching, understanding what the market is, knowing what you're buying and what you're selling, because I feel like people lacking just knowing the basics of what is a euro, what is pounds, what is euros, what is dollars, what is gold. People are lacking in information of that, and that's why they're not succeeding. They're just going round in circles of trading.
So for someone with, let's say, zero knowledge and nothing about trading, investing, would you say, or not even would you say, but how many hours roughly or approximately would you say that a person would need to spend sort of in the markets, in certain educational materials, to actually sort of have a decent knowledge base to maybe start trading with real money and start sort of getting to consistency?
I would say a month of just strictly understanding the markets, using YouTube and actually back testing. So if you check out my videos, I show you a lot of videos on back testing and, going previously in the history of your charts and understanding what that currency is giving you. Because, you can easily hop on trades, buying and selling, buying on dips, and get lucky with a couple trades. But I feel like if you really want to get the consistency, and as a trader, that's the number one priority, is consistency. You want to start spending more time understanding, okay, there's fake pullbacks, there's fake breakouts. You want to start learning to think like a bank. Would a bank want price to hit, for example, on gold, 1,500? Would you want gold to hit 1,500? Would banks allow that? Or would you want gold to hit 2,000? So stuff like that you start to understand, and I feel like after a month, you start to, especially if you're just concentrating on one currency pair or just one currency, you start to build huge knowledge on trading, and you start to understand exactly what your currency is doing.
Mm-hmm. So in a month, it seems reasonable.
Yeah, it seems reasonable. 30 days, give or take with the weekends. On the weekends, I would say back test, and just stop, I would say, not going onto forums or signals and, buying and selling because someone told you to buy and sell. I would say just strictly just yourself, working on yourself. But with trading, learning the strategies are very quick. It's very easy to learn strategies. I would say it's more about your psychology, and that would take, a year or maybe even longer than a year to actually understand, because, I went through accounts where I could grow an account from £10 to, 100 or even £500 or even 1,000, crazy time, and lose it in seconds, because the risk management and the aggressiveness that I was trading in it was not going with my rules. And that's when I started realizing that, trading is not actually money flip.
Yeah.
It's more like investments. It's actually an investment for long term. And I feel like trading is not something that you can just flip overnight. Okay, so enough about talking about day trading. What about stock investments and just investment in general? How long do you think it would take for a beginner to understand the market?
So for a beginner to start understanding and to start sort of grasping basic concepts, because again, what a lot of people don't realize is that a lot of the financial health calculations on companies are readily available online. You could literally just go into Yahoo Finance, look at, for example, Apple stock, the PE ratio will already be there. So it's more just about understanding what all of the different metrics mean. And like you said, I believe in a month you could get a significant level of growth. And even a month only spending an hour or two an evening, if that, even just watching a video could increase your sort of level of knowledge exponentially, just watching a video a day for an entire week.
Yeah.
And so again, I feel like it's variable to how well you understand things, because you don't just want to listen to, I don't know, someone explaining, okay, cool, this is a stock, this is why I like it, but you more want to understand how they've built their conviction, where they've actually looked, where they've got their research from. So I would actually agree within a month. I would say anywhere from a month to 3 months, you can make a significant level of growth, whereby you actually understand what you're looking for when you're investing in a company. You understand the type of investment you want to make, the type of investor you actually are. I would definitely say a month to 3, even though it is quite a big time. Like, is it a month? Is it 3? Anywhere in between.
Yeah,
you
definitely
could really get to that level of knowledge where it's like, okay, cool, I'm comfortable picking stocks now.
And just a quick phrase that I like to keep it is like building a relationship with your whatever you're investing in. So for example, with me, I heavily trade gold, XAUUSD. And the way even if you see my Snapchat, my Instagram, I like to say it as it's like a relationship where I've devoted time understanding that pair, and then the way it returns with money. And even with stock investments, I say that you wouldn't be half-hearted in a relationship. So you want to go full-hearted with, learning your stock investments, learning what the economy is saying for that stock, learning what's going on around that stock. And I just say it's just like building a relationship with it, to be honest.
Literally, I agree, to be fair, because with the stock market in particular, it's like, if you don't know what's going on in, I guess, the overall economy, and then something happens to your stock portfolio, a big drop in share price, you constantly need to keep up to date with it. Again, you could mirror it back to a relationship if you really want to.
Yeah.
And again, it goes hand in hand, because it's like, okay, cool, you don't understand what's going on, you kind of need to know, you need to keep up to date, you need to keep in contact with, I guess, market news or even stock related news, etc., etc. And you can use things such as Yahoo Finance, build your own portfolio, come up with news related to your portfolio. And so again, it's just being able to keep up to date, having that really close connection with your stocks, not being too diverse to the point where you've got 30, 40 stocks and you can't keep up to date with what each one of them is doing. But I guess just diverse enough to the point where you're exposed to different sectors, you're exposed to different markets, so that your risk isn't all in, for example, EV stocks or SPACs, which taking the biggest hit at the moment. But yeah, I agree.
Now, moving on to one of the most important questions is, how many sacrifices did you take to get to the point where you're at?
I don't know. It's a weird one. Like, would I even class it as a sacrifice? Is probably the first thing. Like, I've definitely missed out on linking up with friends, going to motives, going to holidays, I'm saying, all of that kind of stuff, even like relationships, friendships, missed out on a whole bunch of that. But again, I don't feel like I've missed out. Like, the way I'm sort of living now, like, got my own office now.
I've
had my own
at a young age.
I've got loads of different things that's working for me, which I probably never would have even dreamed of before. It's all just been like, okay, cool, all of the things that I've wanted to do, pretty much achieved, and now it's kind of like just freestyling.
Like same with me. I wouldn't say I've taken a lot of sacrifices, as we're still young. We're not 30 years old, sacrificing years with family or friends, whatever. But I'll say the only sacrifices I probably would have took, which is a big mistake on my side, was I enclosed myself really, really quickly. And as it was the pandemic, I didn't go out, I didn't meet friends. For I think if you know me, 6 months I was just indoors, just learning, literally just banging out revision, learning, literally just focusing on myself, because I feel like with this whole trading thing, if if you're looking at other people, it heavily affects, especially even stocks. I feel like it will heavily affect your growth. And, you know, if I see you, for example, you know, you could be hitting trades, you know, hitting 3,000-4,000, whereas I'm a completely different trader. My trades normally hit, you know, a couple hundreds, but I do more trades in a week than you would do.
Exactly. I'll
So
do one if that.
exactly. So I feel like there's so many differences, yet there's similarities as well. So I wouldn't say, you know, close yourself, but I'd say, you know, just focus on yourself if you do want to become a better day trader, and focus on literally what you're doing.
Yeah, agreed. I had the exact similar experience with the whole tunnel vision kind of thing. I remember kind of being in sixth form, computer science classroom every day, right in the back. I'd literally be popping trades in the computer science classroom.
Literally.
And it was like, I didn't do anything else for the entire 2 years at sixth form. I was literally just trading, running my businesses and trying to grow them throughout. Yeah. And it all paid off. It all paid off perfectly. Definitely. So again, would I say it's a sacrifice? It's not really.
We're still young, really. You know that.
Literally, I've still got.
We're going to be traveling.
Yeah, definitely going to be traveling soon. I mean, in fact, next question: what are the business plans for the future? And again, makes sense that we've also got, are there any projects that we're working on together? So I guess sort of feeding into it, projects that we're working on together.
We got a couple actually. You know, we literally, when we got in touch, the first thing we were doing together was we used to call each other and just, you know, give our ideas. Both of us, we just had ideas, and we just literally just synced it in together. And, you know, the projects we've got are, you know, in the UK and out of the UK. I just feel like, you know, you want to talk about the projects or?
Well, essentially, I guess the main projects is just being able to build a big network of actual traders. And not just sort of like a whole MLM scheme, but like an actual network. You don't pay to be involved. It's literally just a network of all people who sort of have the same goals and the same visions. In terms of actual projects, we do have one whereby we sort of want to be able to invest into our generation. So even if people aren't interested in trading, investing, you don't have to be. We support other businesses too. I myself am actually currently building one of my e-commerce stores into a full-fledged retailer. I'm going to be flying out to Milan to go and meet the supplier. I've already got really big contracts. The supplier supplies some of the really big businesses in my industry, and I'm going to be working directly with them. And so it's kind of like we want to look at other potential businesses of a similar kind of sort and have you guys present yourselves to us, present your business ideas to us, present your sort of imagination, present what it is that you want to work on. And with that, we actually then want to give you guys your initial startup capital to be able to sort of watch your ideas come to life. That is exactly what we want to do. So I guess that's going to be one of our more bigger projects, as well as having like a global network of traders, investors, etc. And all of this combined, I feel like we can really just watch our generation grow in terms of business.
Even like with me, so like you touched upon, you know, we're investing in different types of businesses, and especially the young. I see like as we're young, you know, we haven't really worked as hard as other people. You know, we started off from scratch basically. You know, you started off on £200. I started off, you know, with £10 basically. And, you know, I didn't really work as much. Every time I worked, money was going to other places. So I feel like it'll be better for us, you know, to jumpstart a lot of people and to, you know, help other people with their businesses and their dreams that they're trying to, you know, reach on a quicker level. Because I feel like, you know, where I'm making money, I'd rather invest in people and help them grow as well, and then build a community, whereas just being selfish and, you know, reinvesting my money and just making money for myself, it kind of gets boring as well. And then also, just with myself, you know, I've got an academy that's launching soon. I think by the time this video is uploaded, it's probably launched June the 4th, 2021. And then after that, I'm just trying to, you know, build a huge community of traders, especially in the UK and out also internationally. And just, you know, from there, you know, getting into real estate, and then also getting into, you know, I got a whole nother project on the music industry as well. So there's just so many different things that, you know, we're looking at. It's just a matter of time that we produce.
Agreed. It's literally just a matter of time. Okay, and then business plans for, I guess, ourselves, but for the future. Anything exciting coming up on your end? I guess you've already really just
I've already spoken about it. I think, you know, me personally, I think the biggest move I've done this year, which was not meant to happen, was actually make an academy where I educate people. Because my whole purpose on YouTube was just to show the lifestyle and, you know, help a couple people. But when I saw my inbox with so many messages on teaching me, they were asking me to teach me. They were asking about, you know, what's your strategy. I just thought, you know, might as well just put it on one website and just Obviously I want to put a fee to it because, you know, if I had it for free, which I would love to give it out for free, people wouldn't really be as interested. Whereas, you know, once you put your money in, you want to learn. So that's the reason why I'm charging. And the fee is actually, if you look at it compared to the market, is very, very cheap. So if you are interested in, you know, learning Forex, or you want to educate yourself, even if you're a beginner or intermediate, is perfect for you. You know, I've got the economic calendars, we're talking about fundamentals, and we've got live stream webinars and everything. So that's a move that I'm working on at the moment and should be done soon. So yeah.
And for myself, there's not really too much happening apart from, I guess, the whole YouTube scene and me starting a lot of like my private sort of businesses, which I don't really want to address publicly, only because, again, online there's some really weird people.
Yeah.
And the business has actually been growing. It's grown. It's a very decent sized business. And it is something that I want to keep sort of under the ground and private. Will I ever sort of publicly announce that on it? Maybe, potentially, depends how big it gets. But other than that, I guess just really documenting my journey, whereas I hadn't done beforehand, making new investments, etc. But I guess the YouTube channel will probably be the most public thing that I do.
Yeah.
And that's actually all the questions that we've got from you guys.
So yeah, I hope you lot enjoyed this type of video. I know this is like a long Q&A and it might seem like, you know, we're just talking for a very long time, but, you know, we had to just get, you know, questions and answers out there so that, you know, people who don't know what is private equity or investments or what is Forex, you know, we can bring it together and show you what it is.
Definitely agreed. And I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Do let us know if you guys want more like this in the comments below, more just us discussing to you guys. I know we both on our channels have videos about learning to actually trade, videos about teaching you guys how to invest, how to trade. But if you guys just want more discussion videos, do let us know. We can try link up on a regular basis, monthly, bi-monthly basis. Have a bunch of your questions, collate them all together, sit down, discuss. If you guys want us to discuss specific topics, look at certain memes, look at, I don't know, whatever's going on in terms of TikTok and some of the TikTok things that you guys love to send across. If you guys want us to talk about the whole MLM thing, why we're so against it, or why it's not too bad of a business model, but it just seems to be having an unethical route at the moment. Again, just drop us a message, drop it in the comments below, and we'll definitely be happy to create a video about it.
Yeah, definitely. That's it. Cut.